Alright, good morning everybody. In this video, we're going to talk about my rings for 2022 so far. We're going to talk about storage of the rings. And we're going to talk about some secrets of how to find rings at the beach. Let's get started right now. Alright everybody, well, first thing we'll start off is storage. You know, the last 2 years, I've really been concentrating on beach. I mean, I've been hitting the beach hard. I have not been doing my relic hunting I used to do up in the rivers and everywhere. Beach, I've been concentrating on. I've been loving finding gold. But I started off with this little container. Y'all saw me with the rings, you know, silver, gold, platinum, blah, blah, in this container. It got way too small. I found way too many rings. In fact, we're up to 207 rings for 2022. This is September 30th. Tomorrow will be October 1st. And so we got 3 more months. And last year we had 237. So we got 3 months to get 31 rings to beat. So anyway, this is the container I used to keep now. It just got way too much. I was going to show you that I still keep a lot in here. I do find a lot more than rings. For example, this is all gold right here. All this is in gold. We got silver in here, and this is that big old chain right there. That's pretty nice right there. We got a silver chain here. Some kind of cool stuff I like to keep in here. It's just hard to keep up with all this stuff. This is some other junk stuff, some stainless steel stuff. Anyway, I am keeping a few things in here, but I tell you, it is a lot to keep up with. I got containers where I do hit some other stuff and try to save. This is a container full of just different jewelry parts and stuff I found on the beach. And I can fill a trash can up with the junk stuff I found for sure, between other jewelry that's just 100% junk, rusted out and everything. Bottle caps and all that kind of stuff. It's trying to keep up with it's crazy. But anyway, storage. We're talking about storage right now. What I did, so I kind of keep up with it, I bought these cases so I can keep up. This is a case full of costume jewelry right there. This is, let's see if I can separate it out here. This is corrosion resistant. So I call that corrosion resistant because this is like stainless steel, titanium, and that type of material. Then we have silver right here. Right there, that's all silver rings right in there. And we got the good stuff. Well, silver's good too, but the gold. Now, as y'all see, my numbers, when you look at my thing, might not be the same because a lot of these rings got returned. I returned a lot of all these types, silver, gold. I did return some. I lost one gold, I think, but anyway, we did return a lot. In fact, I was sitting here looking out for a platinum ring. I said, I know I found 3 this year. I know I returned 1 the first year. That's one of my first rings, first part of the year, when it's in the snow, actually. But then I started saying, I got 3. I don't have a 1 here. What happened to the 3rd one? Trying to keep up with everything is crazy. So I went back to my spreadsheet, and I'm going to show you my spreadsheet in just a minute, where I keep track. And I did return 2 of the platinums I did return, so that's why I don't have a 1 platinum left. But anyway, trying to keep up with all of it is crazy. I'm gonna show you real quick how I do that. I'm gonna put well, first let me tell you, Excel. If y'all are familiar with Microsoft Excel, I built a spreadsheet so I can keep track by day, location, and all the different things, silver, gold, whatever. And I keep track of what I got, and I put a little, number in there, how many I found that day of that, and then I do what's called a pivot table, and it adds it all up, and I'm going to show you all that. First, I'm going to show you the spreadsheet. That's right there, and I put a picture up on screen there so we can talk about it just for a second. That's right here, actually. As you can see, I put the date on the left, and then I have whether it's platinum, gold, silver, other metals, costume jewelry. Comments, I labeled it comments, but that's actually location, and I'll show you why I did that in a second. Then I got another little comments, and then I got whether I returned it or not, if they gave me any money for it, if I did return it, And I got the owner's information in case we ever want to get back in touch with them on that right there. So anyway, I keep track of that right there on that sheet. And then I got what's called, now I'll put a picture of this up there, a pivot table. What this tells me, by location, how many rings I got that location. And this is one of the secrets. Don't limit yourself to distance and location. You got to do the research, try to find some areas that people have not detected, like old beaches, places. Do some research online and everything, try to find those areas. As you see, I got 26 locations that I actually did. And some of them are up to 4 hours away, 4.5 hours away, I think one of them was. So I do travel a lot sometimes to get away from the areas, to hit areas I don't feel like people hit a lot. So to really find the rings, you do have to do a little travel and do a little research. A couple of these spots really have never been hit before. But one of them I know had never been hit by detectors. And I've done really well in that area. A couple of those right there. So anyway, up on screen there, you'll see total 207. Some of these, my best beach, location 8, you see right there. Notice I didn't put where at though. I still go back to them, so I can't put the actual location there. I had 47 rings at that location, 41 at one, 22, 10. As you can see, multiple rings at some of those locations. Some of them only got one here, one there. So, but you got to test a lot of places. And all of them aren't going to be successful. You got to get out there and test some spots out and see what you get. But anyway, that's how I track it right there. I keep track of that. And I got this pivot table that tells me, whereas I'm trying to improve that as I go along so I can do a pivot table of returns, or type of returns, all that. I hadn't got that far yet, but we're working on that right there. Some of the things that you want to look out for on the beach. Let's talk about it a little bit. Right now we got a storm going on, and I'm going to be getting up at 5:30 in the morning to get out there and see what it did. So it had a lot of waves there. The tides were way too high to go out there really to try to find anything. But in the morning it's not going to be bad, so we'll get this daybreak and check it out. So sometimes you got to get up early. I don't like it up early, but sometimes you got to do it. If we did have some big waves, hopefully you want to look for that cut. Sometimes those waves will crash down and you'll have 4 or 5 foot cut in the sand. And what happens, I think y'all familiar with the gold sluice, the water will take the sand off the top and leave the heavy stuff there, and that's where you want to be searching right there in the cuts. If you're at a regular beach, you want to look at the high traffic areas. Where people come off the boardwalks and walk down, that area that they're walking down, they're carrying all their stuff and going down. That's a good area, just those walkways right in that area right there. High traffic areas. I always like to go at low tide, at least during low tide or before and after. A couple hours before, a couple hours after normally. And down by the edge of the water. And we get in the water too, don't get me wrong, but if I'm not getting in the water, I want to stay near the edge of the water. The edge of the water is where a lot of people go down there and they got their kids playing with them down there. It's the first place their hands get wet. They put suntan lotion on, their hands are all greasy. They get wet and it'll slide off. Right in the very beginning, that's a lot of rings come from that very first, where the waves will crash there. Speaking of waves, and that's another reason, just a few weeks back, me and John Boy out on the beach, a lady got hit by a wave, lost both the rings right there near the shoreline. And like I'm saying, I'm trying to kind of give you a heads up of where to look. Right there on the shoreline, I'm not long, 20 minutes away, whenever I found the 1-carat diamond ring. We actually went back 2 days later and John Boy found the other wedding band ring. So anyway, where to look at? The waves on the shoreline right there. That's where people get pounded, knocked down, beat around. Of course, out in the water, people are throwing footballs back and forth, and they lose them doing that. Found them for people that have been doing that, playing ball and stuff like that too. So you want to keep out and up there. So if you can get out in the water, that's good too. But first, getting in the water, the hands getting wet and all, that is definitely a good place to look. Another place to look is, I would call it the towel line. You got the water coming up there, and the people like to lay their towels on right there near the water's edge. Sometimes the waves come in too high, and they take the rings off, and they'll put them on their towels, right there on the towels, And the way it comes up, they yank the towel up or they forget and they pull the towel up. My friend Denny, he found 3 gold rings in one spot. Somebody had dropped them on the towel, lifted up all 3 rings right there. Just the other day, I got a call about a lady who put 3 rings in a cup holder on her chair. Picked the chair up, threw 3 rings right in the sand right there. So the towel line is another good place to look. But you can find it anywhere. We were hunting when my friend left. We were up near a boardwalk, and he just started walking down to the next outlet. Found the biggest gold chain he's ever found, not right there in the center of nowhere where nobody normally would even look. So it can be anywhere on a beach like that. In the sand really has a lot of gold in there. Anyway, just a couple of pointers there. Like I say, with 207, we're trying to beat last year's 237. I'm still going to concentrate on the beach probably the rest of this year. Maybe we'll hit relics harder next year. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, I hope that clears a couple things up. Maybe helps you kind of look for certain places on the beach to go. Give you an idea of how to keep track of your stuff better than me, because I have not done a great job. I'm going to improve my spreadsheet to try to track a little bit more about where, how, when, where, and all that. So anyway, but the pivot table that I created on that one really works good. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap this up. Just want to give everybody a quick update and talk a little bit about how and where to find rings on the beach. All right, get out there and find some gold. I appreciate everybody coming along. I appreciate all y'all subscribers and commenting and give me some thumbs up, and I'll appreciate that. All right, don't forget to click like, comment below, share, and subscribe to the Gigmaster. We'll see you on the next adventure. Stay tuned.